You wake up and feel it before your feet touch the floor. The stiffness, the heaviness, that dull ache that wasn't there years ago but now greets you every morning like an unwanted guest. And somewhere deep inside, a dangerous thought whispers, this is just aging. That thought is the lie that's slowly stealing your strength. Aging didn't do this to you. Neglect did. Inflammation did. Years of ignoring what your body was begging for did. And the most uncomfortable truth of all, the fix isn't locked in a pharmacy or hidden in some expensive treatment. It's been sitting quietly in your kitchen while you kept looking elsewhere. You've been taught to accept decline as normal, to lower your expectations, to move slower, think slower, live smaller. That belief is costing you your freedom. Pain is not a badge of honor. Fatigue is not a requirement. Brain fog is not a personality trait that comes with age. These are signals, warnings. Your body isn't betraying you, it's talking to you. And if you're honest, you know you've been ignoring it. Here's a harsh realization most people don't want to hear. Your body doesn't fail suddenly. It breaks down gradually, quietly, patiently, while you make excuses. One skip choice at a time, one ignored symptom at a time, one I'll deal with it later at a time. And later always arrives louder than expected. The joints don't stiffen overnight. The mind doesn't slow down in a day. The immune system doesn't weaken all at once. It happens when inflammation stays unchecked and cells stay unprotected for years. Now here's what should wake you up. Nature already built defenses for this, powerful ones, simple ones. Olive oil isn't just something you cook with. It's a shield for your cells, your arteries, your brain. Cloves aren't just flavor. They are one of the most concentrated natural sources of protective compounds on this planet. For centuries, they've been used not because people were guessing, but because results were undeniable. Modern science didn't replace these truths. It confirmed them. If you feel stiff, it's because inflammation is living rent-free in your body. If you feel tired, it's because your cells are under constant attack. If your mind feels cloudy, it's because oxidation is damaging what you can't see. None of that is fate. It's chemistry. And chemistry can be influenced. Here's the uncomfortable part. No one is coming to save you. Not doctors, not supplements, not trends. Tools help, but responsibility is yours. And the moment you stop pretending you're powerless is the moment your body starts responding. Your system wants balance, it wants support, it wants consistency. What it doesn't want is neglect wrapped in excuses. You don't need extreme changes. You need deliberate ones. Small decisions that send a clear message to your body, I'm paying attention now. Combining olive oil and cloves isn't about magic. It's about giving your body raw materials it recognizes, trusts, and knows how to use. This is about reducing inflammation before it hardens into pain, about protecting cells before damage becomes disease, about choosing prevention instead of regret. Let this sink in. The strongest people aren't the ones who never struggle. They're the ones who stop, lying to themselves about why they're struggling. If you're still breathing, your body is still capable of repair, but it responds only to action, not hope. You don't need more motivation, you need a decision. One that says, I'm done accepting decline as destiny. This isn't about adding years to your life, it's about adding life back into your years. And it starts the moment you stop dismissing simple solutions because they don't look impressive enough. Real power is quiet. People passive. It keeps them compliant. It keeps them swallowing discomfort instead of questioning it. The truth is harsher but far more empowering. Your body didn't suddenly decide to fall apart. It adapted to how you treated it, slowly, patiently, without complaint. Until now, look at the pattern. The aches didn't appear overnight. The energy didn't vanish all at once. The memory didn't blur in a single moment. These changes crept in while you were busy, distracted, or convinced there was nothing you could do. And that belief, that helpless shrug, is more damaging than age itself. Because once you accept decline as normal, you stop fighting it. And what you stop fighting, you lose. Here's a brutal truth most people avoid. Aging doesn't make you weak. Inactivity does. Poor nourishment does. Chronic inflammation does. A body that's supported adapts. A body that's neglected deteriorates. This isn't cruelty, it's biology. Your cells renew constantly, even now, but they can't rebuild properly if they're swimming in inflammation and oxidative stress every single day. Another uncomfortable realization: convenience has quietly robbed you. Processed foods, rushed meals, sugar disguised as comfort. These choices don't hurt immediately, so they feel harmless, but they pile up. They inflame joints, they thicken blood, they cloud the brain. And then one day you're told your numbers are borderline, your pain is manageable, and your fatigue is expected. Expected by whom? Certainly not by a body designed to survive and adapt. You weren't born fragile, you were conditioned into fragility, conditioned to sit more, to move less, to treat pain as something to silence instead of understand, to look for quick fixes instead of daily protection. And here's the hardest part to swallow. No medication can fully undo habits that are still harming you. Relief without correction is just delay. Inflammation is the silent driver behind most age-related suffering. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It tightens joints. It slows circulation. It stresses organs. It exhausts the immune system, and it feeds on neglect. When inflammation stays high, your body is constantly in survival mode. Repair takes a back seat. Strength fades, clarity dulls, and you're told it's inevitable. It's not inevitable, it's reversible to a point, and manageable far beyond what most people ever experience. But only if you stop outsourcing responsibility for your health. Doctors can guide, science can explain. But daily choices decide outcomes. That's not comforting. That's empowering. You don't need to do everything perfectly. You need to stop doing nothing intentionally. Small, consistent actions change the internal environment of your body. They reduce stress on your cells. They improve communication between systems. They give your body permission to heal instead of constantly defend. Here's the mindset shift that changes everything. Stop asking what will fix you and start asking what will support you. Fixing implies you're broken. You're not broken. You're overwhelmed. Your systems are overloaded. Reduce the load and the body does the rest. You still have more control than you think. But control starts with honesty. Honest assessment, honest responsibility, honest commitment. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. Because the longer you accept decline as normal, the harder it becomes to remember what strength feels like. Your body responds to what you give it, not what you wish for. That's a hard reality, but it's also the reason change is still possible. You can't outthink inflammation. You can't ignore oxidative stress. You can't motivate your way out of poor nourishment. Biology doesn't negotiate. It reacts. And right now, it's reacting to years of being under-supported. Olive oil is not just calories, it's information. When it enters your system, it signals protection. It reduces internal friction. It supports the lining of blood vessels and helps calm teeth. Inflammatory signals that keep your body tense and sore. This isn't a trend. It's a pattern observed across cultures that age with strength instead of fragility. They don't fear fat. They use the right kind. Cloves carry a different kind of power. They are dense, concentrated, defensive. Their compounds are designed to protect against damage, not mask it. They combat the stress that silently erodes cells day after day. When that stress drops, your body doesn't waste energy fighting fires. It starts rebuilding. That's when things shift. Separately, these are strong. Together, they're strategic. One soothes, the other defends. One nourishes structure, the other protects function. This combination doesn't force the body, it supports it. And support is what an aging system responds to best. Here's a truth that challenges most people. Complicated solutions feel impressive, but simple ones actually work. Complexity creates dependence. Simplicity creates consistency. And consistency is what your cells understand. You don't need a cabinet full of pills. You need fewer, better inputs used regularly. Another harsh realization, many people wait until pain becomes unbearable before they act. By then, damage has already accumulated. This approach isn't about chasing relief after suffering starts. It's about lowering the background damage happening quietly every day. Prevention doesn't feel dramatic, but it's powerful. When inflammation lowers, joints move easier. When oxidation slows, the brain thinks clearer. When circulation improves, energy rises. These aren't separate systems. They're connected. Support one and the others follow. That's how the body was designed to work. If you're looking for instant miracles, you'll miss real progress. Real change shows up as mornings that feel lighter, steps that don't hurt as much, thoughts that feel sharper. These signals are subtle, but they matter. They mean your body's responding. The mistake most people make is inconsistency. They try something once or twice, don't feel fireworks, and quit. Healing doesn't announce itself loudly. It whispers. But those whispers add up. And over time, they become strength. This is about respect. Respect for your body's intelligence. Respect for what it needs now, not what it needed decades ago. The moment you stop dismissing simple support as too basic is the moment progress begins. Stiffness is not random. Moving and stopping movement makes pain worse. It's a vicious loop. Reduced activity weakens muscles, stiffens joints, and slows circulation. That creates even more inflammation. Breaking this cycle requires internal support, not just willpower. You can't push through inflammation forever. Eventually, it pushes back harder. When the body receives the right support, something important happens. Movement becomes possible again. Not dramatic, not sudden, but noticeable. You stand up easier. You walk longer without thinking about every step. You stretch without bracing for pain. These small wins rebuild confidence, and confidence leads to more movement. That's how strength returns. Most people wait until pain controls their life before they act. By then, damage has layered itself over years. The smarter approach is earlier intervention. Lower inflammation before joints degrade further. Support circulation before stiffness becomes rigidity. Protect mobility before it slips away. Here's the mindset shift that changes outcomes. Pain is not an enemy to silence. It's information to respond to. When you respond correctly, the body rewards you, not with perfection, but with function. And function is freedom. If movement matters to you, inflammation cannot be ignored. Support the body consistently, and it gives you something invaluable in return, the ability to move through life instead of enduring it. Most people underestimate the gut, and that mistake costs them energy, clarity, and resilience. Digestion isn't just about breaking down food. It's about absorption, protection, and communication. When the gut struggles, the entire body feels it. Bloating, heaviness, irregularity, low energy. These are not isolated problems. They're signs the system at the center is under strain. Here's a harsh truth. A weak gut weakens everything else. Nutrients don't reach the cells properly. Inflammation rises. The immune system stays on edge. And over time, the body operates in a constant state of inefficiency. You can eat healthy and still feel drained if digestion isn't doing its job. Cloves help restore balance inside the gut. They discourage harmful bacteria that disrupt digestion and irritate the lining. When those irritants decrease, the gut can calm down. Less irritation means better absorption. Better absorption means the body finally gets what you've been feeding it all along. Olive oil supports this process by protecting the gut lining itself. It reduces friction and irritation as food moves through the system. A healthier lining means fewer inflammatory reactions and smoother digestion. When the gut feels safe, it functions better. When it functions better, the rest of the body follows. Another uncomfortable realization: many digestive issues are ignored because they don't seem serious. People normalize discomfort. They accept heaviness after meals. They tolerate irregular digestion. But these are early warning signs. Left unaddressed, they slowly drain energy and weaken immunity. When digestion improves, energy changes first. Not in bursts, but in stability. You don't crash as hard. You don't feel weighed down after eating. Your body stops fighting the food you give it and starts using it. That's when vitality quietly returns. The gut also plays a role in mood and mental clarity. When it's inflamed, stress feels heavier. Anxiety increases. Focus drops. This isn't weakness. It's chemistry. Calm the gut and the nervous system settles. Balance one and the other responds. Most people chase energy with stimulants, coffee, sugar, quick fixes. But real energy comes from efficiency, from a system that digests, absorbs, and distributes nutrients properly. Fix the foundation, and the need for constant boost fades. Here's the mindset shift that matters. Stop treating digestion as a side issue. It's central. It's foundational. Support it consistently, and you'll notice your body feels lighter, clearer, and more capable. Not because you forced it, but because you finally removed what was holding it back. Most people don't feel their heart struggling until the damage is already underway. Blood sugar swings quietly. Circulation slows silently. The body adapts at first, then compensates, and eventually pays the price. This isn't sudden failure. It's slow neglect. And the danger lies in how normal it feels while it's happening. Unstable blood sugar doesn't always show up as dramatic symptoms. It shows up as fatigue after meals, cravings that feel uncontrollable, energy that spikes and crashes. Over time, this instability stresses blood vessels. and forces the heart to work harder than it should. The body was never designed to live in constant imbalance. Olive oil supports healthier circulation by improving the flexibility of blood vessels. Flexible vessels move blood more efficiently. Efficient blood flow means less strain on the heart. It's not about pushing the heart harder. It's about making its job easier. When resistance drops, resilience rises. Cloves add another layer of protection. They help counter oxidative stress that damages blood vessels and interferes with insulin signaling. When this stress decreases, blood sugar regulation becomes smoother. Fewer spikes, fewer crashes, more stability. And stability is what protects the heart over time. Here's a harsh realization. Many people focus on numbers instead of systems. They chase readings instead of addressing causes. But numbers improve when systems are supported. When inflammation lowers and circulation improves, the body naturally finds balance again. Another truth most avoid: heart problems don't begin in the heart alone. They begin in the blood. Thick, inflamed, stressed blood forces the heart to compensate. Support the blood and you support the heart. Ignore it and the strain accumulates quietly. Energy improves when blood sugar stabilizes. Mental clarity improves when circulation increases. Physical stamina improves when the heart isn't constantly overworked. These changes don't feel dramatic, they feel sustainable. That's how real health shows up. Many people wait for a scare before they change, a warning, a diagnosis, a close call, but by then the body has been signaling for years. Subtle fatigue, reduced endurance, slower recovery. These are invitations to act early, not later. The mindset shift here is critical. Prevention isn't fear-based, it's respect-based. Respect for the systems keeping you alive every second. Small, consistent support protects what no emergency measure can quickly fix. Support circulation, stabilize blood sugar, reduce internal stress. Do that consistently, and the heart doesn't just survive. It performs the way it was designed to. When your mind feels slower, it's easy to brush it off as age. Names take longer to come. Focus drifts. Thoughts feel heavier. But the truth is uncomfortable. Mental decline is often accelerated by damage, not years. The brain is one of the most energy-demanding organs in your body, and when it's under constant oxidative stress, clarity suffers first. Oxidative stress quietly damages brain cells long before noticeable symptoms appear. It interferes with communication between neurons. It slows processing. It dulls recall. And because it happens gradually, most people adapt to it instead of questioning it. They lower expectations and call it normal. Cloves help interrupt this damage by neutralizing the stress that erodes brain tissue over time. When that pressure drops, the brain can function more efficiently. Signals move faster. Focus improves. Memory becomes more reliable. Not because something new was added, but because something harmful was reduced. Olive oil provides essential support by fueling the brain properly. The brain thrives on healthy fats. Without them, it struggles. Adequate support improves cellular membranes, which allows neurons to communicate more clearly. When communication improves, thinking sharpens. Here's a harsh realization. Mental fog is often the result of neglect, not destiny. Poor circulation, inflammation, and oxidative damage create an environment where clarity can't thrive. Address the environment and the mind responds. Another truth most people resist: mental decline doesn't reverse through puzzles alone. Stimulation without protection is incomplete. The brain needs defense as much as exercise. Protect it, and stimulation actually works. When the brain receives proper support, the changes are subtle but meaningful. You feel more present. Conversations flow easier. Decisions take less effort. You stop second-guessing simple thoughts. That's not luck. It's improved function. Many people accept mental slowing as inevitable and stop challenging themselves. That creates a downward spiral. Reduced engagement leads to further decline. But when clarity improves, confidence returns. And confidence fuels engagement. The cycle reverses. The mindset shift here is simple but powerful. Stop assuming your best mental days are behind you. The brain remains adaptable longer than most people realize. Give it protection, give it fuel, and it rewards you with sharper, steadier thinking that reminds you who you still are. Feeling tired all the time is not a personality flaw, it's not laziness, and it's not something you're supposed to just accept and live with. Constant fatigue is one of the clearest signs that your immune system is under pressure. When your body is always fighting internally, energy becomes a luxury it can't afford. The immune system doesn't only respond when you're sick, it works every second, scanning, repairing, defending. When it's overwhelmed by inflammation, toxins, and oxidative stress, it pulls resources from everywhere else. Muscles feel heavy, motivation drops, recovery slows, and you wake up tired even after a full night of sleep. That's not restlessness. That's exhaustion at the cellular level. Here's a harsh truth many people avoid. Low energy isn't caused by doing too much. It's caused by the body working too hard just to stay balanced. When internal stress stays high, your system never fully relaxes. It's always on alert, always compensating, always burning fuel inefficiently. Cloves strengthen immune defenses by reducing the burden of oxidative damage. When fewer cells are under attack, the immune system doesn't have to stay in emergency mode. That alone frees up energy. The body stops fighting imaginary fires and redirects resources toward repair and vitality. Olive oil supports this shift by improving cellular efficiency. Cells communicate better, nutrients are delivered more smoothly, waste is cleared more effectively. When systems flow instead of strain, energy returns naturally. Not in bursts, not with crashes, but steadily. Another uncomfortable realization: many people confuse stimulation with energy. Caffeine, sugar, quick boosts. These don't create energy, they borrow it, and the repayment comes with interest. Real energy comes from cells that are protected, nourished, and functioning efficiently. When immunity strengthens, you notice fewer setbacks. Minor issues don't linger. Recovery is quicker. The body doesn't feel like it's constantly catching up. That stability creates confidence, and confidence itself reduces stress, further supporting immune function. It's a reinforcing cycle in the right direction. The mistake most people make is waiting until they're frequently sick to care about immunity. But by then, the system has been struggling quietly for years. Fatigue was the early signal. Low resilience was the warning. Ignoring it only deepens the deficit. Energy isn't about pushing harder. It's about removing what's draining you internally. Lower the background stress, and the body responds immediately, not with perfection, but with progress. And progress feels powerful. The mindset shift here matters more than anything. Stop blaming yourself for being tired. Start supporting the systems that create energy in the first place. When immunity stabilizes, energy stops being something you chase, becomes something you wake up with.